Hello and welcome to Cyber Suraksha, our campaign for online safety. And we run Cyber Suraksha as an awareness campaign to keep all of you so much safer online. We are supported in our endeavor by Pune Police. The whole point is that we want you to use the internet as well as you can, as best as you can, in a way that is safe for you so that it is enjoyable and you stay safe. The internet is such a beautiful place to be in, isn't it? You work online, you play online, you entertain yourselves online, you communicate, you educate yourselves. There's so much that one can do in the world of the internet. This virtual world brings us so many gains and benefits. But the thing is, it also has potential risks and threats. The thing to do is to be able to identify these threats and risks, know how to address them, and practice basic cyber hygiene and the best practices of cyber safety so that our presence online is enjoyable and safe. That's what we are going to learn today. Remember what Uncle Ben said in Spider-Man? With great power comes great responsibility. The internet does grant us great power. It is now up to us to use it responsibly. Let's see how. Let us begin with checking out the sources of online risks. We can categorize them into three things. For ease of remembering it, let's say these are the three C's. What are these three C's? Content, contact, and conduct. Let's look at each of these carefully to understand those areas that risks can originate from. So the first one is content. Content risks will answer the question, what am I engaging in online? What am I viewing online? What am I reading online? What am I listening to online? So any content that comes to you online can be a source of potential risk. The second C is contact. It answers the question, who am I interacting with when I am online? Who are the people who could be a source of risk or threat for me? The third C answers the question, what am I doing online? Because the third C is conduct. It is something that you do online. Is what you are doing online safe? Is it risk-taking behavior? Everything that you do online could be a source of risk as well. So what were these three sources? The three C's. Content, contact, and conduct. We are going to go into them in a little more detail. So we are going to look at content risks first. These are of two types at least. The first is age inappropriate content. All it means is content that is not suitable at the age you are at. You see, content can be sexual, content can be extremely violent or graphic. Of course, there's a lot of beautiful content out there, but so is there content that can be harmful to you emotionally and mentally. When you watch online videos, when you are going through sites that are online, when you are playing online games, it is likely that you may come across content that is extremely violent or, like I said, sexual in nature, or again, just not appropriate, not suitable for you age-wise. The best thing to do is to stay away from any content that is not right for you at the age you are at, because all content comes with age ratings. The second thing that you have to take care of is malicious content. What is malicious? The word itself means something that is designed to harm you, something that is designed to cheat you or deceive you. Malicious content can come in the form of malicious software or malware, viruses, worms, trojans, ransomware. There's a lot of it out there that's trying to reach you or your device or your network in so many ways. So harmful links, harmful attachments, harmful apps, harmful websites, all of these are ways, they are vectors or they are the means by which this content can reach you. The thing to do is to stay away from it and to know how to do that. Also, there is so much fake news. Also, there is so much content out there that is not reliable, not authentic, designed to spread unrest, designed to spread anger in the community at large. Responsible use of the internet will mean knowing how to identify this and staying away from it. Let us now look at the second C, which is contact risk. There can be risk or threat connected with the people you interact with when you're online. You have a lot of people you're in touch with on social media, on gaming platforms, on messaging apps, aren't you? Do you really know all these people in real life? Or are they strangers who are your online friends? If they are, a good thing to do would be to be very careful how much you interact with them and what you share with them. You see, in the virtual world, people are not always who they say they are. The good thing, therefore, is to be mindful of the information we share with such people. There is another category of people who could be strangers but who could try to win your trust or befriend you. These could potentially be offenders, sexual offenders, who might want to make friends with you for the purpose of exploiting you, for the purpose of harming you. A little more about this later. There is another category of people who could be a source of risk for you. These could be people you know. They can be your friends, people who are your acquaintances or somebody in your family, even your best friends. Heard of bullying? Bullying can happen in the virtual world. It is called cyberbullying. What does a bully do? A bully will try to target you through online posts or messages or images or videos to make you feel small, to humiliate you, to ridicule you. It makes you feel really, really awful, isn't it? This is one contact you have to say no to, even if it was your best friend. Yet another kind of person that you have to stay away from is a friend who might ask you for photographs of yourself or videos of yourself which are explicit, where you might need to be in a state of undress, exposing yourself. Any contact that asks you to do this does not deserve to be on your friend list. Block them. We don't need them to be our contacts. They are definite sources of risk. So we've done two kinds of risk: contact risk, content risk. Let's look at the third one, that is conduct. All those risks that can originate or be sourced from your own conduct online. Remember, the content risks and the contact risks were external. They came from the outside to you. A conduct risk is something that originates from yourself, which means that you yourself can be a source of risk for your own safety. Ever thought of it that way? Let's see what we have to be mindful about if we wish not to be a risk to ourselves. The first thing, are we spending too much time online? Are we at risk of being dependent on our internet devices? Are we well addicted to the internet, spending much more time than is good for us? That is definitely a source of risk. The second thing, you see, we talked about content risks and we said that content in the form of links and messages with attachments and apps, all of these could be sources of malicious content. None of this would really harm you if you did not respond to it. All this content comes with a call to action, which means it won't harm you till you did something to let it in. So, if there is a message with a link in it, it asks you to click on it. Don't. If you have an email with an attachment, it asks you to download it. Don't. If you want to download an app, it asks you for permissions. Give them and then remove them, withdraw them. So you see how it is that we ourselves can just be a little more responsible, a little more mindful, and protect ourselves from some possible sources of risks. You all have school projects, don't you? And you use a lot of the data and information that is online. Have you thought that all of this could be copyrighted, protected by IP laws, which are intellectual property right laws? Are we just downloading, using, copying, pasting things without giving a single thought to whether it is legal to do so, ethical to do so? These are definitely questions you must ask yourself. Netiquettes, ethics on the internet, good behavior on the internet. All of these things are something we owe not only to ourselves but to the community we live in. Why? Hum safe, to sab safe. Hum safe, to India safe. That's why.
Hello students. Well, whatever you do online stays online on some server or the other. So this footprint is called as digital footprint or cyber footprint. When you walk on the sand, the waves come and wash off your trail. But whenever you are online or whatever activity you are doing online remains there forever on some server or the other. So be very mindful of what you are doing online. So you must be wondering as to how can you avoid all these risks which you face online. Well, there's a very simple mantra which is lock, block and talk. Remember, lock, block and talk. Now you'll ask, what should we lock, whom should we block and what should we talk about? So first, lock all your devices, all your accounts and all your personal data. I'll tell you how to lock your accounts. We can lock them with the use of passwords or passphrases. Now your password has to be unique. It can be more than 12 characters long or more also. This has to be done on a random basis. These characters should be used on a random basis, or you can use passphrases also. Passphrases are simple group of sentences which are easy to remember but difficult to crack. Besides that, you can use a password manager. Password manager is a software application which stores, generates and locks all your password. But remember, don't forget the password of your password manager. As you all must be aware, you have to use the 2FA, that is two-factor authentication. This two-factor authentication you should use on all your accounts, whether it's an email account or whether your online shopping account, because it's, as I told you before, that it adds as an extra level of security. Okay, now I'll tell you how to lock your devices. First of all, use a licensed software and not a pirated version. Also remember to update that regularly. Thirdly, use a strong antivirus system in all your devices. And don't forget to back up your data, which is very important, because it may happen that if your data gets lost, you will not be able to recover that. Okay, so now I'll tell you how to lock your personal data. Be very careful about whom you are sharing your personal information, your photos, your videos with, because there is always a chance of data breaches or data thefts.
So we know now that we have to lock our devices, our accounts and our data. What was our Cyber Suraksha mantra? Lock, block, talk. What do we have to block? Any content or any person that is offensive, that means to harm us or makes us feel uncomfortable or scared. Most platforms will let you do that. Most platforms will let you report or block such posts or persons. I'm specifically going to tell you about 3 kinds of people that we must have the courage to block. The first is cyber bullies. Bullies are people who use their power over you to make you feel small or to humiliate you and make you feel very uncomfortable. If this happens to you online, remember it's your right and your responsibility to say no, because cyberbullying is a crime. You should not bully and you should not get bullied. Both would be equally wrong. The next category that we are going to look at is that of people who ask you for images or photographs or videos of yourself when you're exposed or undressed or where you're showing your private parts. These are people who might send you such pictures. It's uncomfortable, isn't it? Anything that doesn't feel right is not right. What should you do when faced with such people? I'm going to tell you 2 simple words. Bolo na. Bolo na. Say no. Simple, isn't it? That's all we have to do. There's yet another category of people that you might meet, that you might want to trust because they seem so nice, because they talk to you nicely and win your trust and they're so friendly. If they are people you don't know in real life, if they're strangers that you made friends with, always be careful who it is that you're talking to. What is this person asking of you? What are they expecting of you? These could be potentially offenders. They could want to exploit you. Would that always happen? No. Could it happen? Yes. And that is why we have to be very careful. These people are called groomers. They prepare you in a way for exploitation, for harassment, for exploiting you in a way that is more sexual. It's not scary if you know how to deal with them. Remember our golden words? Bolo na, say no. We are now going to see what exactly to do when you meet somebody who bullies you. If you meet somebody who's sexting you, which is sending you explicit photographs and videos or asking for them from you, or people who seem to be so nice and so trustworthy, but you're not really sure what they mean or what they want. When you are met with such people, there are 3 steps that you all must take. The first, block these people. Every platform will let you do that. Every single social media platform or WhatsApp or email platform will let you block such people. Block them. The second thing you have to do is save those posts. Do not delete them. Keep them away. They're going to come in handy as evidence if we need to report the matter. And the third most important thing, talk to a trusted adult. Your parents, your teachers, somebody in your family that you trust, any elder that is going to look out for you. Talk to that person and explain everything that happened. Remember, there's nothing that's so wrong that it can't be put right. And it's never your fault. So the thing to do, bolo na. Speak up. Talk to someone about what just happened. That is what you have to do to stay safe online. So we've seen 2 parts of our Cyber Suraksha mantra, lock and block. The third was talk. What is it that you have to talk about? Basically, anything that happens online, anything that makes you feel scared or uncomfortable, even the happy things. Make it a habit to talk to a trusted adult. They are more likely to be able to see the dangers or the threats if there are any. They are more likely to keep you safer than you are right now. Another place that you could report these things on is the platform itself. And of course, there is always the cyber police. These are people who mean you well. These are people who will look out for you and they will tell you exactly what to do. So don't be scared of reporting a matter. Don't be scared of talking out loud. Don't be scared of sharing your experiences. What you say might benefit somebody else. Remember, bolo na. We hope you will use the Cyber Suraksha mantra of lock, block and talk to stay safe online. Children, do use the internet, do use the technology as much as you can for your own benefit, for the benefit of our community, for the benefit of the nation. All we have to do is remember that while we are doing all this, we use it responsibly. Now, one very important aspect of using the internet responsibly is using it for the right amount of time. Are we on the internet much more than we ought to be? Are we somewhere dependent on our devices? Are we somewhere addicted to the internet? Again, these are questions that you or your family can help you answer. A good thing to do is to remind yourself to set a time on your internet hours. How much time is the right time for you? A good idea to sit with your family, have a discussion and set those limits for absolutely everybody in the family, and more importantly, follow those norms. Playing outdoors, being engaged in other social activities, sports activities is so much better than being glued to your screen, right? So that's one thing you have to remember. Limit your screen time, limit your dependency. That way, we'll all stay safe online. Remember, if you are safe, all of us are safe as well. Hum safe, to India safe. That's the tagline of Cyber Suraksha. So, have a safe day, have a great day,